Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live Live Fully, the show. And today I have another marvelous guest with me, who is Dorinda Smith. Yay! I am so glad that you are here with us, Dorinda. But first of all, let me introduce myself and tell you a little bit more about what we'll be doing today. Today, we will be talking with our wonderful guest, Dorinda Smith, and also about my new book. Yes, I have a book out, Live Live Fully, and I can't wait for you to read it. For those who don't know me, my name is Sabrina Cadini. I am a holistic life coach, a brain fitness coach, lots of fun stuff, and also the creator of Life Work Balance Assistant for busy professionals, helping them upgrade themselves with nutrition, sleep, movement, stress management, self care, and mindset. If you are one of them, I mean, busy professional who needs help upgrading their lives, I'm so glad you're here. So, welcome to the show. And if you are here watching live, please type in the comment box who you are, where you're watching from, and let's become friends today. So, as I was saying, this book is about upgrading yourself, and it provides a lot of different tips, strategies. I have a lot of biohacks, which is a relatively new word to explain the art or science to really upgrade your well-being with different things. And we'll talk about a lot of this today on our conversation with Dorinda. And it was born from my personal experience and from working with hundreds of clients in my coaching practice. Maybe my story is similar to yours, and your story is similar to them because, I mean, we all live in a fast paced society. Modern society glorifies busyness. We never have time for ourselves. We work too much. We don't have enough time to do what we love. We put ourselves last in our to-do list, right? These are all familiar things and all things that my clients experience every single day. So today I will talk about scenario number 4. So is this book for you? Maybe it is. And let me put the graphic up. So we'll be talking about audience number 4, which is you have a never-ending to-do list and you multitask trying to keep up with your deadlines. And I have to tell you guys, this definitely was me in my previous career as an event planner years ago. I still have nightmares when I think about it, how I was handling my daily routine. I thought I was in control of everything, but only because I was multitasking, obtaining mediocre results because I was not concentrating on everything. Of course, we cannot be focused on multiple things at the same time. And as a result, I would work long hours, sleep very poorly, and constantly ignoring myself and my family. Thankfully, I was able to find a solution. I was surprised to realize that that solution was already within me. And so I just needed to optimize my body and brain to give me the energy, the focus, and the clarity I needed to function better and faster. So if you are at that point where you work too much, you don't find enough time for your life, and your life doesn't seem that exciting anymore, maybe my book, Live Life Fully, is for you. And I will show you the steps how to amplify your natural superpowers so that you can successfully handle tasks in life and at work while improving your well being and finding more free time. So, Live Life Fully is available for pre order through my book crowdfunding campaign, and I will tell you a little more later in a few minutes. But today, let's explore more about our well being, which is something that we have the right to experience in our life, right? With my wonderful guest, Dorinda A. Smith of True Wellness Today. Dorinda, hello and welcome back. I'm so glad to have
Hey,
you.
Sabrina.
Oh my goodness. So I met Dorinda, how long? Probably a couple of years ago,
Mhm.
right? Through functional medicine. And I'm sure Dorinda will have a lot of great things to say about functional medicine. I am a big advocate of functional medicine because I think it's the best way to optimize yourself, not only for any types of like chronic disease or something that is off in your daily life, but for your lifespan, for your long term health, which is to me the most important thing. You know, you don't have to solve the problem today, but you want to stay vibrant and healthy for your entire life. I think you agree with me, Dorinda. And functional medicine is exactly the right solution for you. Hello, Michelle, Garrett. So, Dorinda and I were talking about Michelle because Michelle shares the same middle name, right? So nice to see you. Thank you so much for being here. So, let me tell you a bit more about Dorinda. So Dorinda is an autoimmune research scientist and functional medicine nutritionist. She earned a master's in immunology and environmental toxicology from Virginia Tech in 1998. And she set out to help others through medical science. And then she continued her specialized PhD studies in autoimmunity while working at Duke University Medical Center and Duke Veterans Affairs Hospital, and completed a prestigious PhD fellowship at the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences. I could stop here because I think we can all agree that she knows more than everyone else, right?
I don't know about
Yes. But after a few years, her life completely changed. And she was diagnosed with a lot of different diseases and systemic sclerosis, fibromyalgia. She developed arthritis, Addison's disease, thyroiditis. I mean, I could go on and on and on. And she had a long list. If you go to her website, you can see a long list of issues that eventually made her lose her career. But that's not the end of the story. I would say that's the beginning. And I can probably see this was a blessing in disguise because that helped her come back with a vengeance, I would say. And that's the Dorinda that I absolutely love because she was able to find out about functional medicine. And after researching the medical breakthroughs of functional medicine for a few years, she applied those scientific protocols to her own healing. And I mean, look at her. You will hear from her and you will be like, oh my goodness, I want to be like her. You know? So Dorinda has, I would say, nearly completely reversed, right? All of your autoimmune conditions and is getting her life and career back. And so now she has her own company, True Wellness Today, to alleviate suffering by bringing the healing truth of functional medicine to people everywhere. I think we need more of you, Dorinda. And so I am so honored to have you. And tell us a little bit more about you. I mean, I could go on hours to tell our viewers who you are and what you do and the awesomeness that you have in healing other people. But I know that you started with these challenges and now you're able to help others. What are the biggest joys that you see in people when you're able to help them? And, I mean, I know it's difficult to respond in just a few minutes, but I am sure this is a huge joy for you, a huge satisfaction, right? To see the smile on the people that you help and they're like, thank you, I am alive again, right? So what are your thoughts about that? You know, how do you wake up in the morning thinking today I can save other people and let them live vibrant and healthy and happy, right?
Well, that's the whole thing that makes me jump out of bed every morning that wow, we really can get better, because previously we were all told, and people are still told today, that if you are diagnosed with an autoimmune disease or fibromyalgia, that you're incurable. And, there's really not a whole lot we can do for you, right? This is what we're told by our doctors. And of course, the truth is that that's not true. That there is really so much that we could do. There's so much new science out there, the science of our epigenetics and our gut microbiome. And wow, the invisible infections that we know about now and our nutrition. And there are so many awesome things that we can do to help ourselves feel better. And so, just being able to teach that to people every day and, walk with them through those ups and downs, because, it's not like getting well is a perfect, you know, it's quick and easy. It's not like that, right? It takes time, and we have to make we have to make changes in our lives, and we need other people to take us by the hand and walk with us in love to do that. But when you reach those milestones where people say, oh my gosh, for the first time, I feel better. I feel this. I haven't felt this good in so many years. And now all of a sudden this is getting better, and that's getting better, and this is getting better. And it's like, that's like, there is nothing better, really. I mean, just watching people get better and seeing them get their lives back, and and then just being able to enjoy that with them. It's not just me feeling better now, it's all these other people are feeling better too, and it's pretty awesome.
Absolutely. I would say it's a win-win situation, right? You put them
Yeah.
I would say the driver's seat, and you give them the tools to really come back and be alive again,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what for sure happened to you. And that's what happened to me as well. I mean, I share
Mhm.
not a story that is as powerful as yours, but I still went through different issues, healthy, thankfully minor, but still health issues a few years ago, burnout on top of everything else. And I thought my life was over. I didn't know where to go. And at the time, I didn't know about functional medicine. So I had to find the solutions on my own, day by day, trial and error, experimenting here and there. But at the end, I was able to finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I know exactly what you are talking about. And
Yeah, people waste a
unfortunately,
lot of time doing that too.
yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, there are more and more people suffering because of
Mhm.
that. Because, of course, our world is toxic, and you have a lot of offenders, a lot of triggers. And it's always so difficult to find the cause, because usually people go to a specialist, right? And so
Mhm.
they think that by targeting that specific area, they can find the solution. But sometimes you have to have like bird's view, right? And look
Yeah.
at the whole picture. And that's when where the holistic approach comes in the picture, because again, you're able to find the root of the cause, which is probably in a completely different area, from the symptoms that you are having. So that's why you are the perfect person who can help them figure out what was wrong in their life. Absolutely, definitely. So you almost completely reversed your autoimmune diseases, and I just mentioned a few ones, but I think there were like 14, 15. What was your?
Well, there's 8 altogether, but of
Yeah.
course, those are the big diagnoses, right? When you talk about symptoms, I mean, you can't even count all the different symptoms that people live with when they have autoimmune diseases, right? And so, yeah, not a very fun way to live, but yeah, I'm considered 95% reversed now. I did for many years. I lived on a cocktail of anywhere between 12 and 20 different pharmaceutical medications, including some pretty powerful painkillers. And now I'm completely off of all of those. And I have my supplements, and I have right? And I have, my good nutrition, and I take care of my gut health every day. I take care of my detoxing every day. I take care of my circadian rhythm every day. Right? I have a whole new lifestyle that I didn't have before. Right. And this new lifestyle, while it took me time to learn it, and I did have to make some very significant changes in the way I lived, I am so much happier now. And, I've lost 100 pounds. I look so much better. I feel so much better. My energy is back. All that brain fog is gone. And, it's a beautiful thing. So I highly recommend making those changes. And, something I was talking about on my own personal life this morning is that the latest research says that 80%, fully 80% of the chronic disease that we see in the whole world today is actually preventable. And that's a statistic that will blow your mind, right? And if it's preventable, and we know that we can reverse a lot of this, then what are we doing? Why are we just sitting around not doing anything about it when we could truly have our lives back? It's just a matter of making some positive changes. And when we learn how to do it, and we do it with others, and it just becomes a beautiful new lifestyle, and it's totally worth it. Yeah, I can't drive through Jack in the Box or McDonald's anymore, but who cares? It's just a bunch of junk anyway, right? I have other things that I do that I enjoy better.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you touch, you made an excellent point, which is a lifestyle. People think that they should maybe go on a diet for a week or two and
Mhm.
everything will go better. No, it's just something that you need to do every single day for the rest of your life. And that's how
That's
you'll
right.
realign and you'll rebalance your body. So that's a
Yes,
completely
exactly.
different perspective. And as you were saying, a lot of different changes, a lot of sacrifices at the beginning. Of course, it's not that easy. But then when you
Mhm.
see the results,
Yeah.
that's when the magic happens, right? And
Yes,
you
yeah.
can have
That's
long
so worth
lasting
it.
results. Absolutely. Yeah. You mentioned Jack in the Box. I usually think about pizza. I don't eat pizza anymore. But,
Mhm.
thinking about the consequences that I would have when I eat pizza,
That's
I'm
right.
fine with that. I don't care.
Or, my granddaughter makes me a healthy pizza now. So it's a
Yeah.
it's a completely different kind of pizza, but it
Mhm.
has that same pizza flavor, right?
Yeah.
Actually, it's making my mouth water just thinking about it.
I
And
know, right?
right, and it's delicious, and your taste buds change. So it is different, but once your taste buds change and your health picks up and you feel so much better, then you get used to it, and then it's just like, oh, why didn't I always live like this? Why did I allow myself to get so sick like that in the first place? But
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that reminds me of my baking experiments because I always had a sweet tooth, and so I used to eat a lot of sugar, a
yeah,
lot
me
of
too.
desserts,
Yeah.
and now I make my own sweets and cookies and pies and everything with healthier ingredients. So I still
Right.
keep the same recipe, but different flours, plant milk and sugar and everything else. And I love that. They're so yummy.
Yes.
So,
And they're so much better for you. You
mm,
get used to them,
yeah,
right? You get used to
exactly.
them.
Yeah, totally. So let's talk about functional medicine and how you are also involved with functional medicine because you are a very active member and you run the local functional forum in San Diego where we are based. So tell us a little bit more and how people can find someone who is specialized in functional medicine to start their journey back to life, I would say.
Well, um, yeah, I got involved with the functional forum because they were the ones that helped me get my life back, right? Because my story involves, a pretty significant spiritual event where I literally thought that I was dying. I was in the worst flare in my life, and I literally thought that this was the end. My specialists had told me that I had anywhere between 10 and 20 years to live, and I was at about year 14, and it was just the worst time. And I actually collapsed and I cried out to God and I just said, you can't let me go yet. I've got to take care of my granddaughter. There isn't anyone else to take care of her. You've got to show me if I've missed anything. You've just got to show me. And it was a big crazy scene, me crying on the floor and falling apart. But then I got back up into bed, and there on the TV was a YouTube video, and it said scleroderma and functional medicine. Very, very long story short. And if anybody wants to hear my story, they can go to it's the free training is at go.truewellnesstoday.net, and I tell my whole story there. But basically, I found out about the functional forum. And all this is it's an international group of doctors and scientists and health professionals who are using the latest science, cutting edge research and science to help people get better. Right. And of course, doctors are changing their entire practices now to incorporate this new way of practicing medicine. And of course, it's a very holistic way of practicing medicine. It's not just looking at, one organ over here or one thing over there. It's very holistic. And of course, it involves, you know, a lot of nutrition and taking care of your gut health and your genetics and the way your genes are expressing. And did you know that we can actually change the way our genes express just by the way we eat and by the lifestyle that we live? I mean, so there's so much new science out there that we can use that is not currently being used in the conventional realm yet. And it's all, relatively new, right? And so we can use it. So once I found the functional forum and I started doing all my own research and I started getting well myself, then once I was well enough, I knew that I had to be involved with this organization. And so I volunteered, and there I am. Now I get to bring other doctors and scientists together in the San Diego area, and we all get to help one another learn how to apply the new science in practice.
Absolutely. Dorinda, I'm listening to you, and this is all music to my ears. I
Mhm.
love it so much. And yes, you're doing such an amazing job with these meetings, bringing great doctors. I see Dr. O'Brien's book in the back, Dr. Mark Hyman's in the back. Yeah, these are all my heroes as well.
Yes.
And as you were saying, I mean, functional medicine uses a holistic approach, but it's much more than that, because when I talk about functional medicine to people who don't really know what it is, they tell me, oh, I'm not interested in potions and like medicaments. And I'm like, no, 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 no. This is
Got
not
it.
something like that. Functional
Right.
medicine uses advanced testing, state of the art
Right.
testing to really find what is wrong with your body and your brain, what is misaligned, what may be deficiencies you have, which can be very little things. Doesn't have to
Yeah.
be major, issues in
Right.
your body, but it just a little bit can create like a cascading effects of other mechanisms that bring your body completely out of balance. And
Right.
they really look
Right.
at me like, what are you talking about? Right? This is so new for them. So
Yeah. And I can share my screen, and I can,
yeah,
if you
absolutely.
guys, can you see this on my screen?
Put it on screen here. Okay.
There. So can you see that?
I can see that. So guys,
Okay.
let us know if you can see that.
All right. So basically this is a very simplistic slide that tells you the general areas that functional medicine looks at in order to help you to get your health back. And of course, there's a lot of little things inside of each of these areas, but these are the main overarching areas that we look at. And we know that, we first start with the non-negotiables, the things like making sure you're sleeping properly, making sure you're drinking enough water. People don't realize just how important that is. Making sure that you're getting the right amount of exercise, not too much, not too little. Making sure you're pooping every day, right? People think, oh, if I only poop once every couple of days, that's normal, but it's not. We really all should be eliminating at least twice a day. Very important. And that we have a sense of peace. We have something that grounds us in this world so that our stress levels don't go flying all over the place, right? So we start there, but then we look at people's toxicities, because we know with the latest science that the number one cause of chronic disease it's all boiling down to our toxicities, the amount that we're exposed to right now. And the toxicities combined with people's specific genes and their specific genetic expression is really what kind of starts the whole ball rolling toward the disease process, right? It throws off our gut health. And we know now with the latest science that our gut controls practically everything, right? The science of the gut microbiome right now is just exploding. And it's just incredible. Every single part of our body that these little bugs that live in our guts touch, from our immunity, our metabolism, our thyroid health, our hormones, even our mental health, is all controlled by our gut. And of course, you can't have a healthy gut if you don't have healthy nutrition. So we need to find the nutrition that's just right for each individual person on a personalized basis because everyone is a little bit different. There is no one right diet. Everyone is different depending on what's going on in their own gut. And then, of course, we have to look at people's mitochondrial health, their stress and their structural management, and also what types of what we call invisible infections might be lurking and causing inflammation. And the whole thing boils down to chronic inflammation. And we know that if we look at all these different areas of your health using the latest science, it's not woo-woo, it's not weird stuff, it's actual evolution of science. As we learn new things, we can do more. And that's basically what functional medicine does. It uses the latest science to help us to control our chronic inflammation. And we know that chronic inflammation is the bottom line cause of all of the dis-ease in our bodies, right? And so once we're able to identify all the different things that are wrong in these areas, then what we can do is we can fix these little things using, brand new protocols and, awesome methods, right? And we can help people to lower their chronic inflammation, and voila, they start to get better. And, everybody can benefit, whether you already have an autoimmune disease or a diagnosis of some kind or not. Everyone can benefit from going through a program like this and getting healthy again. Although I personally love to specialize with the more difficult problems, such as the fibromyalgia and the autoimmune disease. And I even have some clients that have cancer as well. And it's amazing what we can do, so long as people are willing to to be taken by the hand and to learn how to make the different lifestyle changes and how to do the different protocols that need to be done. So long as they've got a good mindset and they're willing to learn, then they can completely change their lives.
So true. Oh my goodness. I would love for you to be here like 5-6 hours with us. You would
probably go on for that long too,
and such great wisdom. I love your insight. So I am sure our viewers are also taking notes here and learning a lot, because again, this is not something that you hear all the times. And so I'm so glad that you're able to give us a quick introduction to functional medicine. So thank you about that. Which takes me to the next question. I know that you have a program out, and I would love for you to tell us a little bit more about it and how we can find it.
Sure. Well, we have a complete program here, and we split it up in a couple of different ways depending on what people need. But we start everybody off with a full functional comprehensive evaluation, and we use the Living Matrix health assessment technology, which is the latest cutting edge method to help you to get a full overall picture of everything going on in your health. And it even gives you a timeline all the way back to when you were in the womb. Okay. I mean, just amazing what it does. And of course, then you can continue to build on this as you get well. This whole system follows you all the way through your healing journey and the rest of your life, so that you can watch yourself get well. And if you start to fall off the wagon, you can watch yourself get worse, and you can pick yourself back up and realize where you went wrong. And it's a wonderful way to assess people's health. So we start people off there, and then we put them in a really good gut health program, because that is really where we find that most people need to focus. Since the gut controls everything, then we start them with a really good gut protocol and move on from there into looking at your mitochondrial health and all the detoxing work that needs to be done and your genetic work. And so the programs that we offer are complete. They're not going to leave anything out for you to help you to get your health back. And that free training that we were talking about before is where you can get started on getting your functional evaluation and getting started with your gut health program. And then if you need another program from there, then we just walk with you. And one of the things that is so different and important about True Wellness Today is that I started this company knowing that functional medicine could help everyone. It's the latest science, but not everyone could afford it. It was considered the rich person's medicine because it was relatively new and it had all these new cutting edge protocols and new testing, and a lot of it wasn't covered by insurance. And so, of course, only rich people could afford it, right? And that is all changing now, thank goodness. And I am very happy to be one of those companies that is bringing functional medicine to a place where everyone can afford it. And so that's what we specialize in here. And I always make a big deal of telling people that if you come to me, I don't believe that you came to me via coincidence. I believe that there's a reason. I believe that you're supposed to get well. And I know that I'm supposed to help you, and money is not supposed to stand in the way. So we're going to find a way to make it work for you. And of course, a lot of the testing now is covered by insurance, which is nice, right? So that helps. And yeah, and we just, we walk you through a program, and we do it in groups so that we know that everybody pretty much knows that now, that psychologically, when you're trying to make large lifestyle changes, that if you do it in a loving, safe group, that you're more apt to have success, right? If people are taking you by the hand and just loving you through the process, you're probably going to do just fine, right? And you're not going to have anything to worry about or any fears, because everybody's doing it together and we're all helping each other to make it happen, right? And so that's what we do here.
So, yeah, definitely, definitely. I love this. I love all this information. So I put the website where you guys can go and start the program. It's go.truewellnesstoday.net. This is where you can find about the program. I have one of my dearest friends in Ireland, Irene
Mhm.
Petty, and she's watching the broadcast because I know that she can get a lot of help from you, Dorinda. And I would love for you two to connect actually. And she was asking, can we do this online via your Facebook page? But I guess it's on
Yes,
that website, right?
yes,
Will you
yes. And,
also provide like support in the Facebook group? I would say
oh,
probably.
yes. And
Program. Okay.
everything's online. We do everything online. So, I always tell people, if you speak English, we can help you, right? Wherever you are in the world, if you can be online, then we can help you. And of course, everything's done. We do the full group package, right? And one really nice thing too is that, and you don't get this everywhere in functional medicine, but I just love doing it, so I do it, is that when people come to me, you get daily support. Whereas, sometimes if you have to go to a doctor or a nutritionist, you might see them once a week or once every few weeks or whatever, right? Well, in our programs, you get daily support. So you're not really left alone to try to figure this out on your own. And I always tell people, look, the minute you have a question, the minute you're standing in your kitchen and you're trying to figure something out and what you should eat or what, right, that I want you to get out your phone, and I want to be as close as your back pocket. I want you to just pull out your phone and I want you to send me a text and ask me that question. And if it's during normal working hours, I'm going to answer that question for you.
This is so beautiful, Dorinda. And I don't know if you can see the comments that I was posting on Facebook. She's saying, "Oh my God, I'll be contacting you, Dorinda, as I'm not getting any help in Ireland." And actually, Irene will be my guest this coming Friday in 2 days. And she also has a great story. So I hope that you will be able to hear. But again, I really hope that you guys can connect because I am sure we have a perfect match here.
Oh,
I
that's
really
awesome.
hope, yeah, she can get your help. That is wonderful. So thank you for sharing about this program. Really hope you'll have a lot of people joining. And that's awesome that you provide daily support, which is so
Mhm.
important because, sometimes people are doing this, which is something completely new, and they feel lost. They feel hopeless
Right,
sometimes. They don't know if they're doing the right thing.
right,
And so
right,
I
right.
guess your guidance is mandatory, I would say, for
Mm,
the success of this program. So,
mhm,
oh
mhm.
my goodness, such great information that we're sharing today. I'm so, so, so happy to have you. Now, let me ask you a million-dollar question. As you probably know, my book covers my 6 pillars that I use in my coaching practice. I am not a nutritionist and I don't go into the details of nutrition. I just give my clients some general guidelines for them because, as you said, each of us is different. So I cannot personalize a diet for them, and this is not my intention. But I
Mhm,
tell them, just to stay away from sugar, to remove
mhm,
gluten if possible, and just, follow the general guidelines that can
right,
help them
mhm,
improve their well-being. But I also cover sleep because, of course, we
mhm,
need sleep. And I have some clients who are trying to lose weight and they don't sleep. And I
mhm.
tell them, well, if you don't sleep enough, your weight loss will not be possible because, again, it's all part of a system. Our
That's
body and
right.
brain are all part of a system. So
Mhm,
again, I give them general guidance on these areas. Also, movement. It's better if you move all day long and maybe doing dishes rather than staying seated at your computer and going to the
mhm,
gym once every other day. That
mhm.
still puts you at risk for cardiovascular disease.
That's
So, and also self-care, which because it's so important that we give time for ourselves to ourselves, and also stress management because it's one of our biggest enemies
right.
in
Mhm,
daily life. Do you think any of these is more important than others? I'm sure you will say no because they
mhm,
all, living together. But what do you think is the first step? I know some doctors put sleep as the priority. Some others think nutrition is the foundation of well-being. Do you think any of these, like nutrition, sleep, movement, stress management, self-care, is more important than others, or maybe the starting point
I
for
think they're all, yeah. I think they're all so very important. And I don't think that you could just focus on one and leave any of the others out and expect to be, totally healthy. I am very, very interested in the latest longevity studies because what they're saying about sleep and how critical that sleep component is huge. And so I would if I have to lean on one, I would probably say sleep. But it's a funny catch 22 also because people will say, well, I would love to sleep, but I can't,
yeah,
right? And that's where you really have to, that's why you can't just take one thing out of context. You really have to work on the whole system, right? And there's a really neat little analogy that it's not my analogy, but it's the analogy of when you have chronic symptoms, you basically have like a leaky roof, and there's a lot of water dripping in from your leaky roof. But it's not that you just have one hole in your leaky roof. You probably have 30 holes in your roof, right? You probably have a B12 deficiency, and you've got a food allergy over here, and you've got a hormonal issue over here, and then you've got a metabolic system over here, and then you've got right, you got all these little
yeah,
holes, and really, you can't just plug up one of those holes and expect the rain not to come in, right? You really have to go around and systematically plug up all those holes. You have to find them and you have to fix them in order to get well. And so, of course, that's what a good functional medicine practitioner will do for you is they will do the right testing and help you to find all those holes and plug them all up so you can feel better.
absolutely, yes. And as we were talking about, maybe one little deficiency, if ignored for a long time, can create other effects, other consequences, and people don't realize it. And then you go to a specialist again, as we were saying, because you have headaches, but You don't go to a neurologist for headaches. You should go to a functional medicine doctor to find out why those headaches are happening, right?
Yeah, and there might be 10 different reasons
I
why
know.
you're having the headache.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
got to plug up all those little
Wow.
reasons, and then the headache will get better, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my goodness, this is wonderful. As I said, I would keep you here forever, but I know that you have an appointment coming up soon, and I don't want to waste too much of your time. But thank you so much for your precious advice, for your great insights, and I know our viewers are taking a lot of great guidance, and hopefully they will connect with you very soon for the program, and they will start feeling magnificent again because that's what we all deserve, right? Don't you agree?
And you can. That's the
I
beautiful
know.
thing, is that we really, really can. If you'd have told me, like, 5 years ago, when I was in the middle of my just mess, and I was spending most of my time either on the couch or in bed, and I thought I was just heading on a slow road to death, right? If you'd have told me that I'd be where I am today with a smile on my face and being able to help people again, and just, I wouldn't have believed it, right? But here's the reality. I'm 100 pounds lighter. I feel better. I can do everything now. I don't have any more symptoms. I mean, it's beautiful. So, I just tell everybody, I can't help everyone to do this, but there's a lot of great functional medicine people out there in the world. You can go to the Institute for Functional Medicine and look up a doctor that way too, right? They're like the largest training body in the world, and just whatever you do, just don't walk away from a conversation like this today doing nothing, because that just gets you in the same place where you're at right now, right? At least start some research, at least go to some websites, look up Dr. Mark Hyman, look up Dr. David Perlmutter and Dr. Daniel Amen, and all of these different names, right? And start doing your research and start realizing that you really can get better.
What a beautiful message. And yes, you guys, if you are following me on social media, go and take a look who I'm following on social media, and you will find all these names, and you can start following them as well, and you can start learning more about functional medicine. I think the Institute for Functional Medicine should pay us today, right? For all these things that we're doing, right?
Well, they're a nonprofit, so we
I
should probably
know,
all
right?
be supporting them.
Exactly, exactly. But so thank you so much for being with us. Irene said, thanks, Sabrina and Dorinda. So Irene is saying, you are a ray of light, Dorinda. I love
Oh,
that. This is so beautiful. Yeah, you too, Irene. So let's do a quick recap of how people can find you. So I'm rotating these banners so they can find you at your website at truewellnesstoday.net. Dorinda has a very successful Facebook group at Heal Autoimmune Disease Now. So you can just search on Facebook and you can ask to join the group. She also has a Facebook page at True Wellness Today. I don't think you could choose a better name for this. And little recap here about Dorinda's training that she talked about at go.truewellnesstoday.net. So sign up today. There's a landing page, beautifully done, with a lot of great information that will clearly explain what to expect from that training. And I don't think you could say no after you read the page. You will be like, I need to sign up right now, immediately. So thank you so much, Dorinda. Please come back soon because I know that we have a lot more to talk about. Thank
I would
you
love to.
so, so much. And as I mentioned at the beginning, my new book, Live Life Fully, is now available for pre order through my crowdfunding campaign. And I know this book will transform your life. It has a lot of mentions about functional medicine because, as I said, I'm a big advocate. And as Dorinda Smith was saying, also for your longevity, because when you feel better, you live better, you can live longer, which is my goal. And I believe it's your goal as well. So you can pre-order your copy or even more if you think you have family members or friends or co-workers, colleagues who might benefit from the book. And the more copies you buy, the more bonuses you will get. So you can get the book at sabcad.link/book order. And actually, let me put this fun scrolling banner just for you guys, so you can take note and go to the page today. And guys, if this is not your book, this is totally fine. No hard feelings, of course. We're still friends. Any level of support is greatly appreciated, though. And just spreading the word about this will make a huge difference to me. So thank you again for joining. I will come back this Friday in 2 days with Irene Betty, who was one of our viewers today. She has a great, powerful story as well. And I can't wait to have her on the show. Thank you so much. And I will see you in a couple of days. Bye, guys.